What is a spacesuit? By David Hitt. A spacesuit is more than a set of clothes astronauts wear on spacewalks. A fully equipped spacesuit is really a one-person spacecraft. The formal name for a spacesuit used on the Space Shuttle and International Space Station is the Extravehicular Mobility Unit, or EMU. Extravehicular means outside of the vehicle or spacecraft. Mobility means the astronaut can move around in the spacesuit. The spacesuit protects the astronaut from the dangers of being outside in space. Why do astronauts need spacesuits? Spacesuits help astronauts in several ways. Spacewalking astronauts face a wide variety of temperatures. In Earth's orbit, conditions can be as cold as minus 250 degrees Fahrenheit. In the sunlight, they can be as hot as 250 degrees. A spacesuit protects astronauts from those extreme temperatures. Spacesuits also supply astronauts with oxygen to breathe while they are in the vacuum of space. They contain water to drink during spacewalks. They protect the astronaut from being injured from impacts of small bits of space dust. Space dust may sound very dangerous, but even when a tiny object is moving many times faster than a bullet, it can cause injury. Spacesuits also protect astronauts from radiation in space. The suits even have visors to protect the astronauts' eyes from the bright sunlight. What are the parts of a spacesuit? A spacesuit consists of several pieces. The hard upper torso covers the astronaut's chest. The arm assembly covers the arms and connects to the glove. The helmet and extravehicular visor assembly are designed to protect the astronaut's head while still allowing him or her to see as much as possible. The lower torso assembly covers the astronaut's legs and feet, and the flexible parts of the suit are made from several layers of material. The layers perform different functions, from keeping oxygen within the spacesuit to protecting from space dust particles. Underneath the spacesuit, astronauts wear a liquid cooling and ventilation garment. Tubes are woven into this tight-fitting piece of clothing that covers the entire body except for the head, hands, and feet. Water flows through these tubes to keep the astronaut cool during the spacewalk. On the back of the spacesuit is called a backpack, called the primary life support subsystem. This backpack contains the oxygen the astronauts breathe during a spacewalk. It also removes the carbon dioxide that the astronauts exhale. The backpack also provides electricity for the suit. A fan moving through the oxygen through the spacesuit life support systems, and a water tank holds the cooling water that flows through the liquid cooling and ventilation garment. Also attached to the back of the suit is a device called the Simplified Aid for Extracurricular Activity Rescue, or SAFER. SAFER has several small thruster jets. If an astronaut became separated from the space station, he or she could use SAFER to fly back. What spacesuits have astronauts worn? NASA's first spacesuits were developed for the Mercury program. Mercury was the first time NASA astronauts flew into space. These simple suits were based on pressure suits worn by U.S. Navy pilots. Astronauts did not go in spacewalks then. The Mercury suit was worn only inside the spacecraft. NASA's first spacewalk took place during the Gemini program. These suits used for Gemini were more advanced than the Mercury suits, but the Gemini suits were simpler than today's spacesuits. These suits did not contain their own life support. Instead, they connected to life support systems on the Gemini spacecraft with a cord called the umbilical. Spacesuits designed for the Apollo program had to do things with the suits. Fursuits did not. These spacesuits had to protect astronauts walking on the moon. Unlike other suits, the Apollo suits had boots made to walk on a rocky surface. The Apollo suits also contained a life support system similar to the portable life support system on the current suit. Having a life support system on the spacesuit allowed astronauts to explore away from the lunar lander. Space suits similar to the Apollo suits were used on the Skylab space station. Like the Gemini suits, the Skylab suits connected to a life support system on the aircraft via an umbilical. What space suits are worn today? In addition to the EMU, NASA astronauts wear other suits today. The Advanced Crew Escape Suit is an orange suit that astronauts wear during launch and landing in the space shuttle. This suit cannot be worn during spacewalks. Sometimes NASA astronauts will wear the Russian Orlan spacesuit. This suit is the Russian version of the EMU and is used for spacewalks. Another Russian suit, the Sokol, like the Advanced Crew Escape Suit, the Sokol is designed to only be worn inside the spacecraft. It is used on the Russian Soyuz spacecraft.